Our mission at Legacy Pharmaceutics is to provide the population with a golden standard of supplements to keep our youths and aged ones functioning efficiently. Our vision is to ensure the public has access to essential pharmaceutical services and prompt logistics.
Hi, my name is Shamar Conway, and I am the CEO of Legacy Pharmaceutics. At Legacy Pharmaceutics, our purpose is to provide consumers with brain boosters, which is great for cognitive enhancement, to make an efficient profit and provide fair and equal access opportunities to improve brain power. And with 5% of profit obtained monthly, the discount will be offered to regular customers.
The location is of profound convenience for all consumers and clients both locally and internationally. It can be seen as an access point for all districts around the country.
My name is Makiba and I am the Procurement Supervisor of Legacy Pharmaceutics. And my role as the Procurement Supervisor is to monitor the activities of the procurement team, which is basically made up of the procurement operators. I develop sourcing strategies, I coordinate with vendors, I negotiate contracts, and I analyze costs, I manage logistics, and overall I find ways to reduce the procurement costs. So recently, the operators have brought to my attention that there is a shortage in some of the ingredients which are required for the making of the gummies. This is due to the COVID pandemic. Many countries have decided to close their borders, which restricts importing and exporting, which further delays our company, Legacy Pharmaceutics, from importing these specific ingredients for our ingredients. So as the supervisor, I will have to bring this up to my manager, Ms. Bunbury, and from there she will tell me what to do and I will further direct the operators in this.
Thank you, Ms. Abel, for providing an update on the situation. I'll be sure to bring up this issue at the next board meeting. And as soon as I get word, I will update you on the next step forward. Thank you again.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I received an email earlier from our procurement department in which they stated that our company has been experiencing some difficulties as a result of the pandemic. Ms. Bunbury?
Good evening, everyone. Early today, I received an update from my procurement supervisor about the unavailability of an ingredient. ISO malta oligosaccharide is an important ingredient in the manufacturing of the Legacy gummies. However, as I mentioned, the procurement supervisor informed me that obtaining this product is becoming increasingly difficult. China and Japan are the world's largest manufacturers of the ISMO. Our company sources ISMO from JJ Manufacturing in China. Unfortunately, they were hit with COVID and unable to provide us with this main ingredient.
Okay, Ms. Bunbury. Mr. Hussein, how does this affect us financially?
Good evening, Mr. Conway and colleagues. Indeed, this scarcity of ingredients has caused sales to drop by 30% over the past 3 months. This pandemic has not only placed a strain on sourcing ingredients, but rather it has placed a strain on the finance department of Legacy Pharmaceutics in paying employees. We have had to utilize loans in order to financially back the company, leading us into debts. Overall, this pandemic has proved to be a major setback for the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hussein. So given the COVID situation, what are the implementation options? How do you propose we deal with this situation?
Okay, I propose that we look for a manufacturer in Japan. The prospective company, Yan Manufacturing, offers ISMO in the required amounts at a price of 2,000 USD. Although the price is a bit higher than our original supplier, I suggest we follow through with this deal, as this is the only way to lead us out of debts.
Thank you, Ms. Bunbury. What does the QA department have planned for this situation?
Good evening, everyone. The QA team and myself would work hard to ensure that mistakes and defects in manufacturer products are prevented. We would ensure that our pharmaceutical products are manufactured to a safe and consistent standard. Also, my QA supervisor, Ms. Day, would support the efforts of other supervisors and work with production supervisor to help resolve any further production issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Prasad. Health and Safety Department, is there anything you'd like to add?
Good evening, everyone. Due to the pandemic, Health and Safety Department are now acting swiftly to ensure the health and safety of all employees at the workplace by ensuring the use of masks, sanitizer, and screening tests to identify and monitor the necessary risks and hazards at present and in the future at Legacy Pharmaceutics. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for attending this brief meeting. I do agree with Ms. Bunbury's decision. That brings us to the end of this emergency meeting. Stay safe.
Hey guys, welcome to Legacy Pharmaceuticals warehouse, where this warehouse is much more than a simple storage for products. It is carefully constructed and designed to preserve the integrity of drugs that are used by gynaes nationwide, and it is strategically laid out to ensure efficiency. First, the products are accepted and checked by the quality analyst manager by the area called the receiving dock, where the products are counted, palletized, saran wrapped, and labeled. It is labeled here with the product name, QR code, expiration date, quantity, and lot number. After receiving and labeling, you then scan and check your product into the picking location using a computerized system. The product is then organized on a 5-shelf rack, lettered from A to E from bottom to top, with different lot numbers in a first in, first out order. There are some products that require refrigeration. So for that reason, our warehouse is equipped with a refrigerated section, where a walk-in pharmaceutical refrigerator is used as the main cold storage area. For that reason, that require temperature control, for example, vaccines. This ensures the temperature uniformity, quality, and stability of such products. Lastly, there is a loading and unloading dock where the products are uplifted and later on distributed to their respective destination. Thank you.
My name is Kimberly Deodat, and I am a procurement operator under Legacy Pharmaceuticals. Let me just first explain what is procurement and the process so that we can get a better understanding on how we purchase items for Legacy Pharmaceuticals. So what is procurement? Procurement is the act of finding, acquiring goods, services, or works from any external source, often via a tendering or competitive bidding process. Now, this is very important due to we have to ensure the buyer receives goods, services, or works that works the best possible price, including the aspects such as quality, quantity, time, as well as location. Now, the procurement process has several steps. We have determination of requirements, approval from the boss, sources determination, vendor selection, purchase order processing, order monitoring, goods receipt, invoice verification, and last, payment. Let's go through each of these processes together. So first we have determination of requirements. This is the creation of the purchase requisition, the PR, which contains clear information about the description, quantity required, dates, and others. So anything the company needs, Legacy Pharmaceutical needs, they have to send it through a purchase requisition so that we can go ahead and purchase the item. So normally we have these done in bulk. So for instance, if we have, we need some alcohol to make the tonics, if we need some glucose and so forth, we buy those in bulk. However, they must go through a purchase requisition. Given that, we need the percentage, the milligrams, as well as the quantity required, and the date. The date is very important to be specific about. Moving on, we have step 2, which is approval. Now, approval is the most important stage. Now, we need to get approval from the boss. If it is budgeted, it can go through to the next step. If it is unbudgeted, we need to go through the finance department. All right? And step 3, we have the sources determination. So this is done by the procurement executive, which is the manager for the procurement department. It can refer to the previous purchase order, because most of the items that we purchase at Legacy Pharmaceuticals for the company, we may have purchased it before. We've been around for a long time. So most times we use a previous purchase order. We just have that sent back to the seller. However, we can also refer to a contract framework, or if it does not have both, we can do a sourcing, right? Which is a request for a quotation from another seller. And we can do a price comparison to ensure we have the best price out there. Then we have the vendor selection. We give the purchase order to the seller or the suppliers, right? And then that purchase order is processed. The seller will process that order. Then we have order monitoring. Now, we monitor the order, such as when it will be processed, delivered, and received, right? So we know when these things are going to happen. We know when we're going to get in these items we're requesting for, and so forth. Then we have the good receipt. User accepts the item. This is when the item comes into us. We need to accept those, of course. And then we have to check and make sure the items are correct, the date is intact, the quantity, as well as the quality, right? Then we have the invoice verification, which is done by the finance department. This allows the credit memos to be processed either as invoice reversals or return deliveries, right? Then we have the payment. The payment may be manually or automatically processed, meaning that we manually send out a check to that seller, or sometimes we do it via the bank. So the bank would automatically send over that amount of funds to that company within a set period of time, right? So and more likely the automatic processing is one of the best ways to go, since it's less paperwork, as well as we have all the steps to the bank to ensure everything goes okay, and that we have evidence of so forth. So the last step was the payment. That is by far the most important part. So let's go through some example situations at Legacy Pharmaceuticals of the procurement department. So there are many However, we'll just do a few, okay? So this example is done on mannitol. So Alia would have just received from the manufacturing department that they are running out of one of the most important ingredients to make our product, mannitol. So she would then have to prepare a procurement requisition form for the procurement manager. So when she prepares that form, she takes it to the procurement manager for him to give approval. So her part is done. So then we have the procurement manager with that PR document. So the procurement manager would then create a budget for the mannitol as well as some other items just to save some time and money at the same time, right? So the procurement manager would then relay that information or have that budget sent to the finance manager, right? And they would together then scrutinize and recognize the specific needs. Now, in a case whereby the product is relatively new, right? That means that is a new item that is being requested. The procurement staff would then have to do a vendor selection to select the best supplier. So with vendor selection, the procurement staff or the procurement manager would need to do that, right? They would go from shop to shop to find and survey and to compare prices in order to get the best quality as well as price for our customers. When the best supplier is found, the procurement manager would then send the purchase order, the PO, to the suppliers. Now, the suppliers will then process the purchase order. Now, when that is happening, right, the procurement operator, in this case, Miss Alia, would then monitor the order. When she monitors the order, she would know when her items that she wants is being packaged, is being stored, is being delivered, all the logistics behind that that item she's requesting, she will have that information, right? So that is all under monitoring the order. So it normally takes about a few days, not too long, for that order to be sent to us, right? So after the few days, the order comes. So when we receive the order, we would have to go through a process in which we check the order or check our items, right? Now in this case, the mannitol, you will have to check on the quality. Sometimes for quality, it is sent to the chemistry department in which they can do a sample and have that tested for us just to ensure that we're receiving the right quality of product and the right product exactly, right? And you need to check on the expiration date, the milligrams and so forth, depending on the item, of course. So when we receive that item and we check and it's all good, the finance department will have to do an invoice verification after so. And then the payment part will be processed. So again, the payment can be made to the suppliers either manually or automatically. We've been through that. So when that payment is done, that is basically the end of the process, whereby for one of the procurement items. And I hope this was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Siobhan, and I am the chemist attached to Legacy Pharmaceuticals. Over the years, our company has been producing brain-boosting gummies. Our product that we produce there is second to none. We take our time in selecting the right ingredient, especially our secret brain-boosting ingredient. I will now explain the process of how we manufacture our product. Each gummy vitamin starts with a specific form. First, raw materials are selected and weighed. Some are in liquid form and some are in solid. The nutritional ingredients are blended with water. In a separate tank, we prepare the gelatin base, which gives the vitamins a jelly-like consistency. Next, sugar and gelatin premix is poured into the tank. A sugar substrate is added to other ingredients, while specific amounts of water and glucose are dispensed into the tank. It takes about 5 minutes to blend the ingredients for the gelatin base. Then the gummy vitamin is transferred to a large holding tray. In our unique lab, the nutritional mixture is tested for contaminants such as heavy metals and bacteria. An automated storage injects the solutions into test tubes, rinsing in between injections. Now the sample in the test tubes are ready to be analyzed. For every metal testing, the sample is injected into an extremely hot vacuum chamber. The plasma flame turns the metal contaminants. When samples are cleared from processing, they are ready for flavoring and colorant. More vitamins are added in powder form to boost the formula's potency. The liquid vitamin preparation and the gelatin base is piped into the mixing tank. Then everything is blended together. Now the batter is ready to be made into thousands of gummy vitamins. A conveyor line up the vitamin molds. Multiple nozzles deposit precise amounts of batter into the small holes. The conveyor moves the tray forward as the gummy vitamins begin to solidify. A robotic arm sacks the mold tray in a holding area. For several hours, the pills continue to harden in the mold. Once completely solidified, the gummy vitamins are removed from the molds and then transferred into a revolving tray. And that concludes the process, after which each gummy vitamins are being count out specifically and packaged and labeled and labeled. Thank you.
Getting products from manufacturers to customers requires an efficient supply chain. A supply chain is the system involved in moving a product or service from manufacturer to the customer. The supply chain consists of manufacturers, distributors, wholesalers, and the retailers. A functional supply chain helps manufacturers distribute their product efficiently to meet the customer's demand. A distributor buys products or product lines from the manufacturers, warehouses them, and resells them to the wholesalers. A wholesaler is an intermediary entity that buys in bulk and sells to retailers rather than to the customers directly. The retailers are the end of the channel in the supply chain. They sell goods or commodities directly to the customers. Most retailers operate in locations close to the customers and sell products from several manufacturers. Distributors and wholesalers usually sell products from few manufacturers, with some selling from just one manufacturer.
My name is Christy James, and I'm the Human Resource Manager over at Legacy Pharmaceutics. So over at Legacy Pharmaceutics, you're probably wondering what is my role here. So basically my role here is basically prioritizing my employees and also some of the customers. So over here, our mission is to provide to the population with a golden standard of supplements to keep our youths and aged ones functioning efficiently. So that is our mission over here at Legacy Pharmaceutics. So the lovely Shamar Conway, our CEO, who I have much due respect for, he would have hired me Basically, Shamar, he has 20 years of experience in the chemistry industry, which makes our business bloom. I'm a small company whereby we do not have all of the high-tech or labeling and packaging. So my advice to any small business now starting off is basically to start small and let your business grow. Because I can say that Legacy in the next year or two, we wouldn't be as here as such a small company. We would be expanding. We would have put measures in place so that our country would have the cheapest rates for the gummies and the syrup. We do plan on having multiple and bigger locations for the future, so I'm not gonna spill the beans as yet, but over here we just have big plans for Guyana and helping Guyana to grow and just being a better country. And we did speak to investors from the USA and Jamaica to help us grow. Half of the Human Resources Department, this is Christy, and I would just like to say thank you for your time and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Hello once more. I hope this video was informative and give you an understanding of the process that goes on at Legacy Pharmaceutics, based on how we order items to manufacturing, as well as the challenges we face and the solution we have found. I'd like to thank my board members for their hard work and dedication. Without the Legacy team, this company would not be as successful as it is. If you want to learn more about Legacy Pharmaceutics, please visit our website at www.legacypharmaceutics.com. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more behind the scenes of our company.